Hi everyone, my name is Lenny and I built an app in a month that got 20 plus users on launch using AI as a freshman in college. So I just wanted to run down through everything that I did that actually got me to this place that I'm in. So why am I doing this? So I'm a freshman in college trying to become successful. And I chose software engineering as my major because building an app is just the best move because you just use it for job applications and earning simultaneously. So honestly, I believe that building an application is probably one of the best moves that you can make for job applications and earning. And because it's like you can add your project both to your resume and also that project can actually turn into a cash cow um, if you do the right things. And I think this is exactly what every single software engineering major should be doing as soon as possible. So let's just go over like what exactly I did and how I did it. So let's just go through ideation. So a lot of people overcomplicate ideation, and I just want to say do not overcomplicate this step. All you have to ask is just one question, and what you have to ask yourself what really sucks right now and just think of a solution to solve it. So basically, all you have to do is ask yourself, okay, what might be wrong in my life right now, and how do I solve it in the best way possible? So for example, you might think that water, like drinking water consistently, is really hard. So you can make a solution for that. Posting on X or LinkedIn consistently is really hard. So that's why I made a solution for that. And you just have to like spend half an hour like running the problems that you have down. Then you have to ask yourself, okay, can I automate this process? Can I make the process easier? Can I solve this particular problem for myself? And this is the most straightforward way of getting an idea to build in any sort of business. Literally, every business is built on top of pain. Like, you say what you want, but that is literally the basis of every single business. And that's exactly what software engineers are looking for, people who solve problems and people who also can spot them. Um, yeah, so part two is let's say you have the idea, now you want to build. So, first off, you have to start with architecture. And I just want to remind you that you cannot build fast without architecting your projects first. So many people make this mistake of trying to build straight up without, going anywhere, just like building from the jump. And if you don't know what to build and how to build it and the sequence to build it, then it's going to be hard. So, usually, what I do is I write down literally how I'm going to be building it and what features this particular app should have and I would want to have. So, and also, if you want, you can also ask ChatGPT what are the core features for the following application when solving X problem. And this will give you one thing to focus on entirely. So, this is architecture as a basis. And number two is coding, which is again not complicated. Cursor and Claude are non negotiable. I won't lie to you, if you aren't using Claude and aren't using Cursor currently as a software engineer, I don't know what to even tell you. I don't even know what to tell you because that is like one of the most important softwares currently right now, and that's what people are calling a cash cow and all that stuff. And I really do think that it's super important for error handling. Oh, no, sorry. It's super important for building, iterating, and actually constructing the things that need to be done. So there's also alternatives such as D3 Grok and Gemini Pro. I have tried these for actual building, but they're not exactly the best, like as good as Claude, for example, in terms of AI. Cursor is also not exactly the best sometimes, I won't lie to you. Um, but Deepseek Grok and Gemini Pro are good for error handling though, and because they have really good context. I usually use them a lot when I'm just stumped by a problem, and sometimes I just feel really lazy, and I just have to go on. And honestly, all you have to do is iterate over and over again, so much until you get the product done. So that's like the whole basis, and that's what people sometimes you just have to push through some stuff to actually get things done, and that's exactly what it takes to actually make sure something is done. So if you're non-technical, for example, let's say you literally don't know how to code like a website, you're just learning C++ plus plus in school, all you have to do is just repeatedly iterate with the AI until you have a working product. Yes, spaghetti code sucks, and I know people hate AI slop, but there's some AI slop that genuinely makes a lot of cash, and the people that are complaining about the AI slop it'll suck. And I won't lie to you, I'm not saying spaghetti code is good or it's the best of the best. No, absolutely not. Because when you have to fix an error, it is going to be harder to find the error with spaghetti code and with that AI stop, which is important for architecture, which is why architecture is important. So you just have to know what to hit and what to do. And also another tip that I didn't write down over here is you gotta know when you're prompting any kind of AI when coding, kindly just like look at what you want to build first. Look at one specific part of the code that you want to change. Because if you try to like change massive things, as much as the Claude and Gemini have amazing context and they're still like capable of like making full-fledged websites, they're still not going to do like as performative as specifying on something. It's kind of the way when you don't specifically focus on a particular topic in an exam, you're just and like you go through everything, it's not gonna go the best for you. You know what I mean? If you're weak on a particular topic, you just have to focus on one specific topic. So that is coding as a whole. Um, and number three, which is what so many people miss, in the greater context of things, is testing. Because I assure you, your code will break. And I'm sorry, that's just like a fact. Then there'll be a time where, okay, it's working, you're doing the stuff, you have made the prompt, you're clicking buttons, and it is working the way it should, but you never know how things can go on other people's ends. Like, for example, when I was building my most recent app, which is Primo Post, I was building it and I didn't know how it would operate on Chrome. I was building it purely on Safari, and that is absolutely my mistake. And that resulted in a certain scroll that I was trying to make on Chrome to look horrible. And that doesn't really look good and that doesn't, reflect well on the product that I'm trying to build. Um, so I really do think that testing is super important. Just really think about, okay, how does it look on Chrome? How does it look on Safari? How does it look on mobile? And you also have to think about, okay, what if they go to terms? What if they do this and then this? What if they do X and then Y? What if they do Y before Z? Stuff like that and yada yada yada. And you just have to iterate and you have to make sure that the core product works. That is the most important thing. I don't know why Gemini's coming up. That is the most important thing because your core product is probably your entire business, and that is exactly what recruiters will be looking for, and that's what people, customers will be looking for when they go on your site to test your product. And that can be like a make or break for earning. And you just have to imagine yourself being the customer and think of any way something can break. And you just have to do the stuff that actually matters. Again, don't test too much. Just make sure that the core feature works. Right. Now we're going to the last part. You have gotten the idea, you've asked yourself a question, and you have something to build. You've architected, you've coded, and you've tested, and you've built the product. Everything works, and it's pretty well done. But then there's still one more thing to keep on going for, and that is distribution. So whether you're trying to build a SaaS or building a project to improve your resume, distribution is mandatory because you'll stand out 10x to recruiters if the project you built is actually being used by other people. And even aside from recruitment, if you actually want to build a SaaS, also having people on your website is amazing because that you're telling people that, oh, people are actually using this. Do you want to try this out too? And that's why almost every single website that you'll see out there will have 500 people are improving their life with this product or 1,000 plus people visited this month. And the reason why it's important is because it gains trust. So this is both for recruitment and for your SaaS products, for your ideal customer and for your ideal recruiter. So, yeah, so you might be asking yourself, okay, what the hell is the best way to actually recruit? And I already spoiled it, but whatever, I'll just read it out. It is actually really simple and easy. Before going big paid on paid ads, such as Reels and TikToks, you just have to post on Reddit. Reddit is so underrated. It is actually criminally underrated, in my opinion. I really do think that Reddit is like one of the best places to get a lot of users. As much as, yes, they are very strict on certain protocols, if you get it right, and you get to tell a story and you do it well, then that'll be amazing for you. So by far Reddit is the easiest way to get users for your product because, oh gosh, all right, awesome. My highlighter isn't working. Because Reddit doesn't need a perfect hook, trending audio, or anything else. You just need to post your story in a specific channel where your target audience hangs around, and that's exactly what worked for me. I got around 200 plus visits on my website, my very first startup, by just posting on Reddit. I literally just posted about how it is really hard to build a startup in Indie Hackers, r/slash Indie Hackers, and I got like around 200 plus visitors on my website. And this is okay, this isn't my actual traffic, but that is kind of what it looks like. And it is actually criminally underrated. But I really recommend do not just post about, oh, I've made this product, do you want to check it out? Please check it out. No. People on Reddit don't like to look at your product. They don't want to be sold on anything. When you're going on Reddit, all you're trying to look for is actually a story. That's what Redditors are looking for. They're trying to look for a story or some kind of advice or valuable information that they can read in a conversation. So that is honestly all it takes for you to get viral. And once you go viral and people buy into your story, they'll click on your site, they might actually like it, and boom, you have traffic and you can flex it to all your friends that you have traffic. So yeah, this is everything that comes up with building my app. I really hope that I helped you guys in um iterating this, or sorry, in going through this. And I really hope that you learn something from this and you try to build your own thing. And I just want to assure you that yes, maybe it'll be hard, and yes, it'll be challenging, but I assure you it is very, very possible. So thanks y'all for watching.